financial needs.
Ngalo na lawa to kuma ta bak. Asira linga da fo ko nyi founding kila.
Hey, elafta maboro la bang. Kalpo efa, igiso SO, na yuna jang. Iba din kiyalto. Kati yuna wallet, ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat.
Ni la yuna wallet to shi muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandrin. Ni fenja jama. Isi sanno la yuna wallet to kono. Yalla kamo soto. Ila wallet to kono.
Alkana la konda no tay. Kafi yuna wallet anatan tolle bukan na balwo fanondi. Abe sona yaren ko bulu podo. Nela mobile scan. Yo, science ise maboro ke wato men diate.
Ko be sandro ke fangole ba. Ko ba ke kan dimbalem. Isi nyin lonko. E sandro se yona enterprise wato wati. Ani la yona wallet to la. Ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono.
Alina nakafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna bitikoto. Alina kata nyin ko kentat. Na sulo fe lolu si sandiro kije se maboro fanan keje.
Moro jundia na nyum ko di mabal ni kadeda.
And welcome to this special interview. Of course, I have the Minister of Works, Infrastructure and Transport and Infrastructure, right?
Yes, Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
You don't even know my ministry.
Because since you became minister, you did not come here. What happened? Why?
I'm trying to hide from all the media houses because we have a very competent minister, Dr. Sise.
Well, he cannot talk about what you have done. So today we will look at, since you took over, what you have been able to do at the ministry and, you know, all the other projects. We'll look at them from the Batil Hardin Highway. I believe for me, that's the best thing that has ever happened under this government. And some other people can dispute it with other things, but I believe that was a good project. Now, I know some people will say the cost, it also is a little high. We'll look at that, but let's first look at what you have been able to do since you took over at the Ministry of Works.
Thank you so much, Fatou. And let me also take this opportunity to thank you and your audience for inviting us to your studios to talk about our activities, what we have been able to accomplish, the challenges and the way forward, and our projections for the next few months to the 2026. To start with...
Why 2026? You said your projection to the 2026.
Yeah, because the mandate of the government
ends in
2026.
I understand.
So let me say that it has been a continuum from where my predecessor left in terms of policy orientation of the ministry, which is to serve as the apex body that will provide policy on transportation initiatives, but also infrastructure. And within this strategic orientation, we have been able to continue from where we inherited from our previous minister. In terms of road construction projects, we inherited the Hakalang from the initial stages. Now we are at the completion stage now.
Hakalang?
Yes, the Hakalang. The Kiang West roads is also almost completed now. Then we also initiated 365 kilometers of roads nationwide. Some of them are beyond 60% completion rate. And these roads are found in almost every division or every region of the Gambia, affecting more than 500,000, people directly or indirectly. And then we have also now initiated the Transport Master Plan, which will look at the transmodal systems of this country, from smart intelligence transport initiatives to also fuel efficient urban transport systems, and also an integrated solution where we will look at traffic management and also efficiency in terms of carbon reduction of things associated with transport in the country. And then we also have other transport initiatives on the air transport, but also the river transport initiatives, which falls on the maritime transport systems. So within this, the ministry is taking the overall lead in ensuring that the transport initiatives are not only synergized, but also they are anchored on an infrastructure that withstands the test of time to be able to carry these transport initiatives.
So, notably among some of the projects is the Battle Harden Highway.
Yeah.
And I have said it, and I think I did a video once. I drove on it. I took a video and I said, you know what? This is the best thing this government has ever done. I'm not a very big fan of your government. I'm sure everybody knows that. But when I see...
I'm trying to hand it,
But whenever I see some good stuff, obviously I acknowledge, right?
Yeah.
But critics say that road is very expensive.
Yes.
They said you have spent 50 million USD on a 50 kilometers road. Sorry. You have spent 150 kilometers, 150 million USD on a 22 kilometers road. Is this true?
Well, I think few things need to be put into context here.
Okay.
Because when we talk of the Battle Harden, remember it's a 6-lane road, 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. And then we also have supply service lanes, which cumulatively, if you add together, it is like 4 on one side and 4 on the other. You also have overpasses, what some people will call, bridges.
Flyovers, yeah.
Flyover bridges. All right? And then remember that this is a 2-layer, asphalt road. You lay the first layer of asphalt, and you also put another layer of it. This is to meet the international standard. And the beauty of this is that even when the road tears and wears away, you will just scrape the upper part of the asphalt, and then you replace it. I have had some interviews and people were quoting figures that in Kenya and other places, roads like this, 1 kilometer cost
about $1 million.
$1 million.
Yes.
But that is not true.
But they said we are spending 6.8 million.
That's what I'm saying. That is not true. Because I remember Mr. Mane, for example, who has been saying this type of thing, the road that he said he worked on at $1 million, it is there in the internet. If you Google it, is one of the most expensive roads in Kenya. At that time in 2001, that road cost $6.7 million per kilometer. Yes, it was a basket project. It was funded through a basket fund where African Development Bank and other donors came in. Yes, ADB contributed $1 million, probably a kilometer, but cumulatively, that road cost 6.7 kilometers. And look at the Kenyan context, for example, where they have basalt in abundance. They have a lot of cement factories where they don't import cement. They have other natural resources that are used on the road. For us here in this country, apart from cement, apart from sand, which is sometimes even very difficult to get quality sand, and laterite. Tell me what other thing is available here. Everything is sourced. And this was 2001. That is, it is like almost 20-something years back. a road of that nature that he said was built 1 million.
What is the market price for 1 kilometers right now? For a road,
it
standard
depends.
road?
You see, for standard road, like say asphalt road, which carries, like say in the urban areas, because you know, in the urban area, you put a lot of things into consideration. In addition to the cost of the road, you also have demolition of properties that are on the right of way. In many of the areas, you have to demolish and pay for those ones, although they are not as that expensive. I mean, you also have services. NAWEC, there are water and electricity pipes, and also Gamtel's fiber optic cables. You have to actually relocate those ones, and it's like buying them brand new facilities. Wherever we are building these new roads, we are also bringing in the urban areas, brand new services, brand new water cables, water pipes, brand new electricity poles and cables for NAWEC, brand new connections, and also for broadband. Those things are added onto the cost. But remember also, I mean, to build a kilometer of road in the urban area today in the Gambia, it is probably twice as expensive than in the rural areas. You know why? For example, the laterite. The only place where you can get laterite today to build a road in the urban area is in the Fonies. So the haulage alone, for example, for you to be effective and be very quick in doing a road, you need to do a minimum of 10 to 15 trips of laterite, where it's like 400 meters or less than 1 kilometer haulage, and then the trucks can be coming in and fast. And remember, for 500, for every kilometer, you put a minimum of 510, 20 cubic meters of, trucks of laterite. So imagine, it takes you maybe 3 trips a day to go to Fonyi and come because of the traffic in the urban area and also the distance. So that haulage alone is a big drain on time to be able to complete a road. And that is why what we have done now during the surveys, we encourage people to stockpile on time. So that by the time you start the actual works, some of those materials are in place. So it's not that easy, but all other criticisms on board in terms of the cost, in terms of the quality, we take note of them very
Especially
seriously.
the OIC roads also. There have been a lot of criticisms about the quality of the roads and even the outlook. I remember when I hosted the NRA and others here during, there was a time there's always traffic congestions here, and there were issues about that, and I hosted them. I was told, in fact, the road is not complete right now. The modeling and all the stuff is not complete. But a lot of people complain about, number one,
the drainage
systems, the passage. When it rains, we all see what happens, but also even the quality of the roads.
Well, I can assure you that the quality is good. I can assure you that the quality is good. And Fatou, when you are building a road, it's not complete. It's full of sand. Water is locked in strategic areas on that particular road. People are having difficulty to cross. Of course, that concern is noted. But you can see, you go to Bufut today, where the roads are completed and they are clean and the street lights are there, you can see the quality. Well, I don't know what quality they are talking about that they have not seen on those roads. But we are always open to those type of criticisms, positive or negative, because any criticism, remember, that you do to a government is the government that stands to benefit more. If it is not actually genuine, you take note of it, and then you make sure that you do something that will make you, smarter enough to ensure that what is being criticized is avoided. If it is genuine, you make sure that you make amends quickly. So either way, and that is why personally for me, I don't want to respond to personal criticisms, because I look at it from an angle of strength, that you are criticizing because you think it can be done better. So how do we ensure that what you are criticizing, we get the best out of that? and then use that as a strength to do something better.
I'm assuming you didn't see the press release that came from your ministry.
No, I saw it.
Did you write that? Did you okay that press release? Because that was personal.
No, that is not personal.
That was personal.
There is nothing personal.
Because when the UDP leader spoke, he spoke about the project.
Yes.
He spoke about, let me finish, he spoke about the project. He spoke about how he felt like it was tantamount to selling. But when you addressed him, you did not address the institution. You guys addressed him, and that looked very personal.
No, we didn't.
That was personal. Everybody said that was personal.
Yeah, but that is the people's
opinion. It is the way you were speaking. You
see, that is the people's opinion. We cannot stop people from having a vested opinion on an issue. That is normal.
Yeah.
But, if you read that statement, it's all about clarification. It's all about clarification. That, because remember also, we have officials associated with the UDP that have been going to platforms, making some very interesting, but sometimes very strange commentaries about the port project. And in the press conference, when you see that repeated again, it is important the government also comes out and clears its position. How that is interpreted should not be seen as something that is too much overboard in terms of how people think. Because at the end of the day, people are entitled to their opinion. And their opinion should not only be considered, but it should not also serve as a contingent deterrent for the government to express its opinion on how it feels is the truth, because we are in charge of the project.
Yeah.
And, you have seen towards the very middle of the press conference to the end, giving out specific details of the concession.
Yeah.
And this concession, Fatou, it has been the most open, transparent process.
We will come to concession. The reason why I brought the UDP the press release is because you talk about how you encourage people to criticize because it's benefit and it's benefit government. And I'm all in for that. Every day that I sit here and I tell people I criticize and I continue to criticize because we want government to do better, because it is our government. Because if we don't criticize, they wouldn't know the problems. But that did not resonate with the press release from your office, because that press release was too personal.
No, there was nothing personal about it.
It was.
No.
It was very targeted to Mr. Dabo. It was very targeted to Mr. Dabo's
That was Fati's opinion.
And I think
that was Fati's opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
The truth is, the ministry came out to clarify on the constant information that is being howled out there by the UDP that the port has been sold. And we have to clarify that. That has to be clarified. Unfortunately, maybe some people may have seen the language, the way you are interpreting it.
Very strong.
Yeah, well, I mean, in most cases, when it comes to discourse on matters like this, you have to be very passionate about your position and bring out the facts.
Okay.
And that's what we have done.
Understood. Now let's look at the talking about selling our ports. I have said this several times, and that's why I'm not the favorite person of the Minister of Finance, right?
Yes, yeah.
The Senegambia Bridge.
Yes.
Under your ministry, the Senegambia Bridge also was, I don't know whether to call it mortgage or sell, since you are not, you don't like the word selling.
No,
can I say mortgage?
Well, I don't know which
for 25 years.
What we did, probably in layman's term could be mortgage.
Mortgage.
But it is not sold.
It's mortgage.
Yeah, because if you say something is sold, then ownership has to, you have to exchange the ownership.
Yeah.
And you know that the bridge still remains, 100% in the hands of the government. What we did is asset recycling.
Yeah.
For example, it's like you have your taxi, for example, Fatou. You bought your taxi at, say, $1,000. And you have a partner that says, okay, let me give you $10,000 worth of this taxi, and I'll be driving it for you for 10 months. In addition to the 1,000, 10,000 that I've given you, every month I'll also give you $200. But I'll be responsible for fueling the vehicle. I'll be responsible for maintenance in it. I'll be responsible for its upkeep. And after that period, I'll return back your taxi in good condition, repainted and everything.
The problem
Does
we
that,
had,
does that in any shape or mean?
it's mortgage.
Yeah, but it's not sold.
But
Because the titles and the ownership of the taxi still remains in your hand.
I think for us, most of us,
It is that simplistic.
Yeah.
If I can think of any, way of better explaining this.
for somebody like me, the numbers you gave us and the Minister of Finance gave us, that the Senegambia Bridge was making monthly.
Yes, at some point, because remember, when we came in,
Yeah.
when I came in as Minister of Works and Finance Minister as Minister of Finance,
Yeah.
we organized a tour
Uh-huh.
to look at the projects, to have an indicative idea as to the state of implementation of those projects. And then we went to the Farafenye Senegambia Bridge, where we've discovered that, there were some kind of underreporting.
Yeah.
Right. And then we immediately insisted that we should install the revenue tools, for example, the barriers, the CCTV at the toll plaza there. And that month, I think it jumped from less than 30 million to 47 million. All right. And at some point, it may go to 40, depending on the high traffic on the, but it was making between 35 and 45, 47.
Yeah.
So that was a good revenue indication that if the place is properly managed. And remember, to borrow a very good term from Finance Minister, governments are very weak in managing things like this. And it is not only in the Gambia, all over the world. I mean, governments tend to, concession out this type of activities to highly experienced private sector systems to be able to manage this type of revenue generating, institutions. But that does not necessarily mean that you are selling off.
But then, Ebrima, the thing is, if we are making between 40 to 45 million every month
At that time.
And we all know, even with that poor management system,
Yeah.
we're able to make that. You think if we're effectively able to manage it, we
Yes.
would make between 50 to 75, maybe.
That could be.
That could be.
That could
now, if you even at
But
that,
I like your word,
but let me
effectively.
Come. But let me come.
No, let me
Yes,
come.
let me
Yes.
finish my. I know you know. But even at that 40 to 45, if you multiply that for 25, you're looking at nothing less than 300 million. Why do we have to mortgage it to 100 million?
You mean $300 million?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, but remember, the 25 that you are quoting,
Yes.
the concession period is not static to 25 years. If you look at the language used, it is either or.
Either or.
Which means that, as you said, if the bridge is properly managed and effectively managed, to use this very good word, then the concession amount set for this would have been realized before the time that
But
you
then
quoted.
even
No,
if
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So that is why you have that caveat there, either or. So that has to be understood.
I understand that, but
Yes.
two things here. Number one, before I even come to the effectiveness of effective management, number one, the figures, a lot of us believe the figures we were underpaid for that amount. Because if with poor management, if we can make around 300 million, why would
300 million
yes,
dollars?
Yes. Why would we mortgage it for 100 million, number one? Number two, the other conditions, we cannot have competing routes within a radius of this much.
No.
Yes, that is because I know that came up and the ministry clarified, the finance minister even came here,
Yes,
but
we
there
clarified.
were some restrictions.
Yeah,
Even with his clarification, there were
yes,
restrictions.
contracts like this,
Yeah.
the concessionaire would always have to at least, recuperate its, money, investment.
Yeah.
And in some cases, you can have clauses like that. But in our case, there is nothing like a clause that says that you cannot build a bridge within 50 kilometers radius. And also, you cannot have a competing facility.
That was there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But there would be no need for a competing facility. Where are you going to have a competing facility on the bank of the River Gambia within 50 kilometers?
What if the government today somebody wants to do something in the, how do you call it, this?
The Banjul Bara?
No, not Banjul Bara.
Where?
No, not Banjul Bara. I'm talking about even the one in Janjambure or Bansang or anywhere.
But
what if government has a project, somebody wants to, 25 years is a lifetime.
Okay, no, I just want to say, remember from Farafenye to Janjambure, I guess.
Yes.
That is far less than 50, that is far more than 50 kilometers.
No, Janjambure is within that, within the 50 kilometers radius.
But that cannot stop government from implementing a project of that magnitude.
How?
Yes.
Because it's in the contract.
No, that's what I'm telling you. I wish probably I would have sent this to you.
I saw the contract. The ministry
no,
said
that's what I'm saying, because we clarified this. There is no...
And I read it today before coming to this interview. I read the ministry's response again and again today.
Our response?
Yes.
You've seen what we've said there?
Yes.
We even quoted the clause in the contract.
But that clause even said 150 kilometer radius.
No, but it does not include Banjul Bara.
Yes, but it includes Janjambure and the others.
Janjambure to Farafenye, what is the kilometer?
You tell me.
It's more than 50
no,
kilometers.
It's not.
No, do your calculation.
It's not. I checked with, it's not.
Okay.
So it's part of it.
Okay.
So the people of Janjambure cannot have development within the next 25 years.
But no, what do you mean?
Competing.
The strategy of the ministry is not to restrict the usage of the River Gambia. That is why, for example, facilities at Janjambure, for example, we are looking at what we call tunnels.
Okay.
So that, there can be flow of traffic on the River Gambia. Because, as the River Gambia, the way it is, as you are going towards Basse, it gets narrower. So you don't want to clog the passage with physical bridges that will also restrict the movement of, riverine barges on the River Gambia. So, the strategy of the ministry is not to restrict the movement of, or the potential usage of River Gambia through riverline barges. What we intend to do, and as part of our strategy, is to use tunnels, expensive as they may be. These are our strategies, right? Yeah.
So I'll come to the effectiveness, because I'll come to that at the end of the interview, because that will encompass everything. If we are not able to manage all of this, is it that we don't have competent people? I'll come to that, because obviously the port also is falling into the same category. Let's go to the airport.
Yes.
The airport is under your purview.
Yes.
It was refurbished. That was not during your time. It's not even this management's time. But government is continuity.
Yes.
Even though the airport was refurbished, over 40 million USD was spent on the airport, right? We still have leakage at the airport. Our AC system is not good, and most of this is inherited. The drainage system is not.
For purpose of clarification, I think the AC system is good. The problem at the airport relating to the inability to power the AC system, the centralized AC system, has to do with the capacity of, the electricity voltage that is going into the airport.
That is NAWEC.
That is NAWEC. Okay. And thankfully, through the support of the Islamic Development Bank, we are already finalizing this. I think very soon they will inaugurate a 2,000 megawatts capacity for the airport. That will be a standalone facility for the airport. In the meantime, the airport has also invested a lot of its own resources in buying, high-powered generators, to be able to cater for some of those challenges. And then they have also signed a power deal with a company based in Germany to provide renewables, as a standalone grid 2 megs, to the airport alone. I mean, I think the project is about 5 or 6 megs, but 2 is going to be dedicated to the airport and the rest will be sold to the grid. Now, all these things are ongoing thanks to the management foresight of the current DG and his senior management. So really, a lot is going on in that directive. However, the current terminal building of the Banjul International Airport, when it was built initially, a lot of jubilation went around. But over the years, experts have confirmed that, it's not the kind of building that you use for airports. Because, for airport buildings, normally you want to extend vertical. But this building, it will take a lot of remodeling to be able to do that. That is why, government has taken a conscious decision to initiate a process to have a new terminal building under the modernization of the Gambia International Airport, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, to have a new modern terminal building, a new modern airport facilities that caters for large volumes of traffic serving the Gambia as a transit hub. And this is doable. Looking at our portfolio and standing as a tourist destination. Secondly, looking at the proximity between us and, say, Florida, Brazil, some parts of Southern and Latin America, and also Europe, Northern Europe, basically. I mean, it takes you 4.5 hours to be able to go to the UK, 3.5 hours to Spain, 4-5 hours to Brussels, 6 hours to Brazil, direct flight. So Gambia is very strategically located. And under the airport modernization project, the strategic orientation is to build a state-of-the-art modern terminal building with all the facilities that comes with it, and then you make the Gambia as a hub. I mean, if you want to go to India, for example, from many West African countries, you fly all the way to Addis Ababa, 7-8 hours away. You spend 5 hours there, and then you spend an additional 5 to 6 hours to fly to India. Now, from Banjul with direct flight, if we are able to make this a strong hub, it takes you only 7.5 hours to fly directly to India. Which is a major development partner in this region today. China also the same. China is about 9 hours direct flight from here. And if you want to fly to China today, you have to go to Brussels or France or Ethiopia, 7 hours waiting, and then you take another maybe
9 hours, 10 hours.
10 hours to fly. So these are the type of things. Fatou.
But when do we expect a new airport terminal?
Well, I mean, the process has already started. Even today, that's why I was telling you I was in a meeting, and tomorrow we are continuing with these meetings. Because we are almost finalizing the transaction advisory documents now to advise the government on how we should go about this, to do our own studies first, where, we will know the actual cost. And then, you roll it out. Because that's the fastest way to do these things, rather than allowing people to come in and then, they do their own feasibility studies and then, bring in their own fundings. That can be complicated sometimes. So this time we want to save ourselves from all that. And, we are on the right trajectory because currently within this region here, I mean, there is no airport that is in the hand of the state, directly 100%.
So I was going to come there, Ibrahim.
No, just wait. Even Guinea-Bissau, currently they
just because other people are
hold on. I'm just trying
doing that doesn't mean we should do it.
Because you see, the business models are changing. You see, let me tell you, just like what happened to us with our port, when all the other countries were going right and we still remain stuck in our thinking, Senegal had already gone and now they are on a second international deep sea port. Mauritania had already
I'll
gone.
come to the
hold
point.
on.
We'll come to the point.
Hold on. I'm just telling
Go
you
back to the
Just
airport.
like what happened to just like what happened to us with the port.
Yeah.
When everybody has gone. And you know, in 20...
Is this signaling that the airport might also be privatized?
It's not privatized. It's concession.
Concession.
You hold,
so that is
you
something
hold,
that's definitely going to happen.
In fact, this is the new business model that we have in this market now. Because at the end of the day, for example, the civil aviation cannot in any way compete with Blaise-Diagne, the operators of Blaise-Diagne, in terms of directing traffic, in terms of management, in terms of volume. It's not possible. Because first, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the funding, they don't also have the infrastructure. The people who are doing this is their business. You work with the state, you bring in the necessary capital, the necessary expertise, you train the local people, let them go through that, progression in terms of, professionalism. And then by the time the concession is handed back to the state, they are capable, highly qualified to be able to do
but
this.
But the civil aviation management was at the National Assembly recently. We have seen a jump in their revenue before the last management and this management.
Yes, that is true.
It's not even comparable.
It can be, be triple.
It can be triple.
It can be triple if you have a modern state of the airport that is well trafficked.
Could government not invest in that?
But government would not have that type of party. You see, think of an economy whose entire national budget is 30 billion, for example. I'm just telling you. Now, to build those type of airports, and remember also our airport is already very congested in terms of encroachment from the people. You have to have a strategy to relocate those people, build them new houses, and then have the space that you need. Because this, remember, in the Gambia, in the greater Banjul area, and in most part of this country, the only place you can have an airport without encroaching into the airspace of Senegal is the Yundum International Airport. That is the only place. So you have to maximize the space. That alone is a lot of money. Now, to maintain a modern airport of that nature like Blaise-Diagne, or even something bigger than that, you need a player with requisite capacity, with requisite experience, and with requisite traffic management record to be able to do those things. Right now, the civil aviation, if the Gambia has a lot of money, for example, if we were an endowed state with a lot of money and we were able to do this, just like Qatar did, of course, all what you would need is just to sign a management contract with an experienced international airport management company. You build it your own with your own money, and then they manage it. Your people will have experience. Probably within 5-10 years, everything is handed over to you because you would have built that reputation. Now, for an airport of that nature, remember, all our financial institutions combined will not even be able to provide the necessary financial guarantees to be able to build that type of structure. It's not possible. So
the other GIA is under your purview.
Yes.
And you're basically killing GIA now.
How?
By bringing neuro services to the airport. And I can tell you as a traveler, neuro is not doing anything better than what GIA was doing.
No, but
I have experience. I'm a frequent traveler, and I have friends who travel, and I have family who travel. Neuro is not doing anything different that GIA has been doing, and GIA is our national carrier. We don't have an airline. All they are now restricted to doing is just selling tickets for other carriers.
Well, maybe very soon you'll be surprised by the GIA.
But why? Sometimes, Ebrima, I can understand when you're saying some concessions. I can understand they are marketing the business. This is a business plan model. But these people are not anywhere better than what GIA has been doing. Number one, as an experienced traveler, but also you are indirectly killing your own institution for other business, a private business to flourish. Why that?
Well, no, contrary to what you are saying, within an airport operating space, a lot of business opportunities can be created for different players. Now, let's break it down to the specifics. For example, Nero that you quoted, this is not a foreign company.
It's a Gambia.
This is 100% Gambian.
And it's owned by Gambians, some very interesting people.
No,
I'll come there.
Well,
I'm going to ask you, is it true that some government officials are shareholders in Neuro?
No, I don't know who actually are the shareholders there. That is not the minister.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
Well, that is conflict of interest. The minister is supposed to know. If it is alleged that people that are at the State House are shareholders in Neuro, that's why I'm saying alleged. I choose my words carefully.
No,
if it is alleged, you don't think that it's due diligence for minister to look at the records of any company?
The minister has done all due diligence and he has not seen anybody being owner of Nero other than Suleiman Cham.
Okay.
You know, so all these allegations, you know, the allegers should come out with their proofs. You see, Fatou, I think the truth of the matter is this.
No, just,
If Suleiman Cham was a Lebanese or
he's
a
non-Gambian,
the type of negativity that I'm seeing being directed at him would not have happened. For me, let me tell you one thing. I'm not a piggyback.
Where is that coming from? The negativity?
No,
I don't see that.
Everywhere. I've seen this in the
This is the first time I'm talking about.
No, I know. I mean in the social media, not about you.
Okay.
I'm saying in the social media.
Okay.
Here is a Gambian who has invested his, resources to invest in this country. All his employees are Gambians. All his banks are based in this country. All the things that he is doing in this country and the equipment that are being used are all sourced outside, based in this country. I don't see any reason why such young Gambians should not be encouraged. However, me as minister, my first priority are two things. First, safety, security, and integrity at the airport. Now, the services that are being provided to ensure that these are up to international standard.
Is GIA services?
No, both Nero and GIA are all doing that. And the management of the GIA knows very well that this minister sitting here is their biggest cheerleader, is their biggest promoter, and is their biggest supporter.
Well, I don't agree with that notion.
No problem. You don't need to agree with me.
I'm telling you, I don't agree because this agreement was signed during your time,
yes.
And I believe it's number one, indirectly killing GIA and an institution we all see pride in, but also very discouraging to the GIA staff, whether you know it or not. They will not tell you, but we are all Gambians because, to be honest,
we have direct link.
A lot of their work has been taken away from them, and to be honest, look. Suleiman Cham is a Gambian. I don't know him. I encourage, let me finish. I encourage Gambian. I am all in for, I'm a Gambian. I came to invest here. And I, just like me.
And that is why, you have been encouraged.
No, you are not encouraging me. Let me come here. But the truth is, with all due respect to Suleiman, and I have nothing against him. I don't even know him.
I know.
But I like to encourage young Gambians or Gambians in diaspora to come and invest.
Yes.
But I feel like Suleiman is an individual who, but the GIA is a collective. Yes. It belongs to the entire Gambia. It's a taxpayer's company. That is why when we make decisions like that, we have to be very careful because at the end of the day, just because we want to encourage Fatou Toure doesn't mean we should kill Gamtel or we should kill GRTS. And I think that is very important. And at this point, this is what is happening. So Suleiman is flourishing, but GIA is not. And they are not offering anything better than GIA.
is flourishing and is very soon.
No, they are not.
You will see a rejuvenated GIA.
Okay.
In manners unimaginable. I can tell you that.
You look forward to that.
You look forward to that very soon. You will see that.
How soon?
Let's work towards June.
Okay, I look forward to that.
Yes.
Hopefully we're getting an airplane.
Yes. What?
Hopefully we're getting an airplane.
No, I'm not going to tell you anything. But what I can tell you is, in actual sense of GIS operational mandate, we should have been in the air today. Not squabbling over, clearing and also, little things like this.
But that's where they make their money.
No, they make their money from that. But there is a bigger money and bigger initiative.
Until that comes.
In areas where, I think their focus should be. And, I like the new MD, with his line of thinking. And, the GIA is highly...
I love the GIA.
Composed of highly
experienced people.
Highly sophisticated, intelligent people.
Yeah.
And, we are trying to harness that. We are trying to encourage that. We are trying to build on that. And very soon you will see something different.
Hopefully, very soon.
Yeah.
The ferry service.
Excellent.
That is also under you.
That is under me.
You promised us in 2025, that we were going to get, I don't know what financing from ADB, we were going to get whatever ferry. Ebrima.
It seems you are not follling us.
Ebrima.
This is your problem.
No,
you are listening too much to other side.
I don't follow you.
See,
You don't
let me tell you.
Okay. I'm not, which side? I'm listening too much to which side?
No, please.
Which side?
Let's move on. I'm not here to fight today. I'm here to clarify.
We are not fighting. We are qualifying. We are make a challenge.
Okay.
We are not fighting.
I mean, just recently,
yeah,
my team, my peers, the MD ports and the technicians, they went to Holland, where they saw pictures of the new ferries being built. Right? And we are on course for the first ferries to be delivered towards the end of the year, and the second one 6 months later, because the way they come in. This is not like you go into the market, you buy.
You have to build
They build them. All right? And the first green ferry will be delivered definitely by December of this year or before.
December
by our
or before.
timeline, because I'm even preparing a trip there to see for myself.
Okay.
In the meantime, Kanila is almost ready. We've built it brand new. We've brought in brand new engines, 4 new engines that are now fixed. The propulsion systems now, the propellers are on their way. I think they are arriving here on the 17th for them to be fixed. So in time for the end of the month for the Kanilai to start. That will mean that the fleet, the aged fleet that we inherited are now all fully done, and we are going to have, highly, rejuvenated, ferries that will be faster, because you can see Kunta Kinte spends about 19 minutes in most cases, unless it is under pressure, because sometimes, if it doesn't take the required, rest, to do the daily maintenance, onboard maintenance, then it will take about 30 minutes. What at most is between 19 and 21 minutes. Now you see, so that has reduced the pressure, because before the ferries were running at 1 hour. So what used to be done in 1 hour, now you can get 3 trips in that. That is why even with one ferry, you are not feeling that much pressure. If Kanilai is fixed, that will bring in efficiency on the route, but it will also double the time that you would have properly taken to cross than what you were experiencing before. So that is another thing that we are bringing on the table. But in the long run, Fatou, the strategic orientation is to open up other routes. For example, between Tunjina area, that is around Kuloro N and Aljamdu N. So that all those people that are going to Nyomi or Senegal, and they are coming from that eastern part, central part of Kombo and Fonyi, and they want to cross using the Banjul Bara to Dakar, you will not have to come to Banjul. So we are looking at that route critically. And we are also looking at other alternative routes. For example, when we have additional new ferries, to look at other routes that will go all the way to Albreda to enhance tourism. So these are part of the strategic plans. Hopefully, when all those things are in place, the challenges that we have in terms of operational cost of running these ferries or the terminal will be evenly split, and it will reduce that pressure on the Banjul Bara terminal.
At some point, there was a time that there were talks about having private players in Banjul. Is that still on board?
That is still on. The private player, Negma, which is a Turkish company, was given a license, and they are building their 2 new terminals from both ends. That will also means that traffic will be reduced, and the overcrowding at the Banjul Ferry Terminal can be reduced. But you know, Gambians love their national thing. And I want to believe that because the Banjul Barra Ferry service is mainly service-oriented, rooted in social service provision, where we cannot charge commercial rate. You know, the school children that are using the ferry, most of them are paying far less than what is charged. Some of the men and women in uniform also, certain categories also don't pay. Those that are in ambulances in the health sector also don't pay. But us, we pay. Even me as minister, we pay. Yeah?
No, you get private service. We need a photo. Hey, minister.
No. I have the app.
Minister, can I go?
I have the app. No, you see, I have the app, and I track the ferry. Now I can show you. I mean, wherever the ferry is, I can show you how many trips they made. I can show you.
Okay.
So I make sure that I plan my trip to the terminal in a way that I am there, say, 20 minutes before the arrival of the ferry at the terminal. Okay. Because I don't want, you know, sometimes the favor that is given to you can attract unnecessary attention to the point that it creates chaos.
Yeah.
So I always advise all my colleague ministers, whoever is traveling, use the app, or you call the management so that you know, and then you are there minutes before. Because, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, as a state minister, so some of those privileges can be accorded.
Of course,
so
yes. And
honestly,
we are happy if they are.
That should be
thank
accorded.
them, yes.
That should be accorded.
Yes.
Now let's look at the port's concession deal. That's how it is called?
Yes, the port concession.
What really inspired this deal?
Thank you so much. Actually, there has been a continuous port expansion project from the PPP days to former President Jammeh to now. And I think this is the 4th port expansion project. The interesting thing between now and what we've inherited was that there have been a study into the port of Banjul. You know, following the change of government, you know, there has been a renewed confidence in our democracy, and a lot of people that are based in the diaspora or even those in this country have started building new houses. Some of them engage in new businesses. So you can see the level of import coming in has kind of like tripled from its original figures. And there was this report that was done to warn the government that from 2017, within 5 years, if you don't improve the port facilities to allow bigger vessels to berth or to call at the port of Banjul, some of your traffic will be diverted to neighboring ports. And we are in that reality today.
Yes.
So, based on that, since 2019 or 2018, government has been engaging different players. You know, the Chinese were here.
The car port.
Yeah, the
Dubai
port wall, and several others through direct negotiation. You know, but the terms were deemed unfavorable to the government. And now, when I came in, I already found a process initiated. In March of 2022, a process was initiated to do an international tender process to have a concessionaire to run the port of Banjul, to work with the government. And when I was appointed, we expedited this. We had about 10 international experienced port operators that actually showed interest through their letters of interest and the bids. And then the procurement committee that was set up to look into this comprises several ministries, the GRA, GAIPA, and I think the Attorney General's chambers. And the ultimate objective is to do a procurement process to select the most responsive bidder so that we can have our port facilities modernized. In the process of that, Al-Barak became the most responsive. For two reasons. One, what they put on the table, and also the risk that they are taking to do a deep sea port.
What have they put on the table?
All the financing that is going into the project comes at their own risk. Gambia government is not putting any money on the table. For example, if you look at Banjul, which is a port that is operational, we are going to operate there for 6 years. And they are going to put in, I think, 19 million euros to improve all facilities there. And then start the construction of a deep sea port in Sanyang. While they are operating Banjul, the Sanyang deep sea port process would also be initiated. And within a short period, before the end of the concession period for Banjul, which is 6 years, they would have already, finalized the operations, the process in Sanyang. Now,
what is the project in Sanyang? What is the project in Sanyang?
This is in excess of $420 million.
Okay.
The Gambia government is not putting any money on the table.
And you think in 6 years, they will not be able to make that from these Banjul ports?
No, it's not possible.
Okay.
It's not possible. Even if it is possible, any money that is made from Banjul is put in an extra account. You cannot touch that. You cannot use the land in Banjul as a collateral to get any funding or financing outside.
Okay.
And the reason why we put it in the extra...
And the money also will not be touched?
No, they cannot, because, we form what we call the SPV.
Okay.
So this SPV, the money that is gained from Banjul, the profits, are put in the escrow account. When I say money, because this is the profit.
The profit.
Their profit, their share of the revenue...
They will take?
They can take that one.
Okay.
But the profit cannot be used to build or to use for any other thing. It is put in the escrow account.
So what is their share? They own 80%.
They own 80%.
And we own 20%.
We own 20%.
So we can take out 20%. Oh, that is what is put in the vehicle.
No. That is, your 20% and their 80% is when you share the revenue, the profit, you put it in the escrow account.
Okay.
All right. And then, in addition to that, before they even share any revenue, what we call the gross income, the gross revenue.
Yeah.
As whatever you earn in the year, 4% of that comes to us.
Okay.
You know what that means? This is actually more than what the Port of Banjul has been generating after they have paid tax, after they have paid their staff, and all other commitments.
Okay.
All right? So, unfortunately, when you form a company, your share is determined by how much you put on the table.
Yeah.
And it is surprising to hear that people are saying that we sold the port because...
No, I want to come in the details because this is very important.
Yes.
So the concession is 6 years
for
Banjul, and they are going to invest 19 million in Banjul.
And they take over all the staff.
They take over all the
same
staff.
terms and conditions as they are employed.
Yeah.
The operation staff. Because remember, we have not concession out everything in Banjul.
What have you concession exactly?
Is the operations and also the management.
Okay.
But all other services, especially relating to security, mooring services, all those things still remain with the Gambia government.
Okay.
And also the harbour activities.
Okay.
The harbour, that's why the harbour master is still part of the port authorities side of the management.
Okay.
So those things still remain.
Okay.
And the other thing is that because I saw a very interesting article by a Gambian based in the US. What if Al-Barak is not able to meet these financial terms and conditions? Well, the risk is on them, because every stage of this concession, we have designed it in such a way that Al-Barak has to bring in guarantee that are cashable. For example, you say you are going to build, Sanyang within this number of years, or you are going to do X number of steps. You are not able to do that. That is guaranteed by
a certain
bond.
Bond.
And you have to provide that bond. So if you are not able to meet that bond, that is cash back.
And they have provided.
Exactly. All bonds have been, and that is why I was surprised, because Al-Barak has made all its conditions precedent. All right? It is the Gambia government that has not met some of its conditions.
So I'll come to that. So after the 6 years.
So for example, if they don't deliver, the risk is on them.
Okay.
Because for us, we have the risk ourselves in every aspect. You cannot use our properties for collateral. You cannot use the profit in Banjul, to invest it in Sanyang in a way that is not actually approved, So everything that we do in this contract is guaranteed through a collateral system whose risk is on Al-Barak, not on us.
And after 6 years, they will start building the Sanyang seaport.
No. Before 6 years, it is simultaneous.
Simultaneously.
Yes,
simultaneously. But you are already having issues in Sanyang.
Well, that's understandable, because you see, when you have a new project of this magnitude and people don't seem to know the issues, there will be a lot of anxiety.
They said there has not been any consultations.
Well, because the process for Sanyang at that time did not start. Okay? Remember, the reason why Sanyang came in the equation was that in 2013, there was a detailed study by Royal Haskoning, based in the Netherlands, that did a study from Bijilo all the way to Katong, because they already knew that the port of Banjul was going to face with a lot of constraints related to, climate change risk and all those things, siltation. Annually, the port authority is spending, nearly $50 million for, dredging. That is not sustainable, because you have to be dredging continuously. So they did a study for the Gambia government in 2013 to advise government to use the option of a deep sea, port facility. And when they did the study, all the, study that was done, it points out to Sanyang as the most suitable place.
Yeah.
However, what the report did not indicate at that time was where exactly the location should be. All right? And that is why when Al-Barak came to know about the existence of this report, it took the risk to say that, look, with all what we want to do, to invest $250 million in Banjul, and every year you are going to spend additional 50, is not sustainable. Why not we take the risk? We go to Sanyang and then do a proper study for the location of a deep sea port. Unfortunately, because that has been said and government has taken that very seriously, the Sanyang option is now a reality. It's an irreversible option.
Yeah.
Now, where the difference is, and understandably for so, with the people of Sanyang, is where are we going to have this? That's where we are coming to now.
Yeah.
Because we are coming to do the studies and we've involved the VDC of Sanyang.
But the VDC, they met you. They met with you, obviously,
yes, they met me twice.
Yeah, when they came out and accused the GPA MD of not consulting and all that stuff, you guys had a meeting with them. They acknowledged that meeting, and they really said they were really happy about that meeting. But you promised them a master plan that will help them determine where this is, who is affected. That would just give
that's the next stage we are coming to.
But they said they have still not gain any master plan,
yes,
but also no other updates apart from that meeting, no updates to them.
True. That is true, because I think there was some mistakes in the way the initial entry was done. Because remember, you don't have a master plan, say the exact location, where it is going to be, how, those ones are not available, as I told you. That is going to be determined by the ASI study now that we are coming to do. right? However, before that was done, you know, there was this consultant that was done to do what we call a scoping. A scoping is different from a survey. And he went and started dropping leaflets in people's homes.
Yeah.
That was scary.
That was scary for people.
And I have to admit this, Fatou. For me, I have been to Sanyang. I have not seen anybody who said he's not interested in
No,
the
they are
deep
very
sea
interested.
They are
in
very
that.
interested.
Yeah.
But how we are going to do it, that's critical for us.
For them.
For me,
too.
I totally agree with that. Because projects of this nature will require that you do a broad consultation and, you know, not only consultation, but, you know, you work together. And that is why now, I mean, even before, when this whole talk of deep sea port was being, you know, said all over, the community of Sanyang came to me,
Yeah.
led by the former MP. And remember also, these are my first cousins, you know, I mean, blood relation. And they first expressed their support, but that they don't want to be left out. And I promised them that we were going to do that. Now, when they raised these issues, I gathered the elders of Kombo, all the chiefs, the 7 chiefs of Kombo, the Council of Elders of Kombo, the original 13 villages, settlements of Kombo, their alcalis, their Council of Elders, led by the governor. We went to the community in Sanyang, we met the Council of Elders, we met the alkali, we met the VDC, and we met the task force. And the discussion was first to announce to them of government's intention to build this deep sea port in Sanyang. And then secondly, to also announce to them that we are ready to work with them and involve them in the steering committee. And in fact, we have written to them to have our first steering committee meeting this Tuesday coming. And from there then, the technical committee of Sanyang VDC and the steering committee will be sitting to, you know, prepare a framework of entry and how they are going to do this, you know, studies for site location and then site identification. And then, because the overall objective of the government is to minimize the risk of this project.
But how ready is Al Baraka if they don't have a master plan?
No, it's not a master plan.
There's no master plan
No.
for this deep sea port in Sanyang.
Fatou.
They don't. The people.
Fatou.
Let me tell you, the people of Sanyang, they have categorically made it clear they are very much interested
Yes, I
for
know
their
that.
community to have something
I know.
such an investment.
Yes.
But they're also very concerned about
Yes.
the eco system.
Of
They, you know,
course, of
they are
course,
concerned
of
about
course.
that.
We
They are
are all
concerned
very
about
concerned about
people, the residents of people who, some people who even have one property. But they're also more concerned that there's not even a single master plan that can give them an
Yeah,
idea
because,
as to
you know,
what is going to happen.
That's what I've been telling you, that the project scope will be determined by the site identification and the type of size that will be needed, either from the beach side inward or from the beach side towards the land. All these things will be there. And then that's where from there, after you have done all that, you have identified the land, you have identified the site, you know, the type of port that they want to build, that is already there. Like, this is the port plan that I want. But that plan has to be exhumed on a land so that you can get it right. So that's what they need. Because like any investor that wants to, when you are, you know, participating in an international tender like this, of course, you develop your own plans. But are those plans, you know, able to meet the expectations of the client? Maybe or maybe not. So those stages are premature at this moment. Within the next 3-4 months, when the site is identified and the size of the land, either towards the sea or towards the land, is confirmed, then you will exhume that in the site. And you know, all these documents will be made available to the committee. That is going to be, because nothing is going to be implemented in Sanyang without the direct involvement
of the community.
Oh yes. In fact, that's why we put them in the committee. That is why we said they should be part of the implementation committee of this very important project, because you need to fulfill three things here. One, the expectations of the community. Two, the local content, but also the environmental concerns.
Yes.
So those ones, there is no two-way about that. You have to meet those ones, because these are projects that require that you meet those standards. They are international standards. You cannot beat about it.
So there were a lot of some GPA staff who also have expressed frustrations about this contract. This Al-Barak contract, they believe, it's not worth our money, is not worth our time. To those staff and the concerned people, what do you say?
Well, it is always important that grievance mechanisms are put in place in project implementation of this magnitude. Naturally, I don't expect every member of the staff to be happy. But that notwithstanding, their concerns should be taken very, very seriously. When we finalized this concession, the first thing that we did was to sensitize the staff through the management of the Gambia Ports Authority to know what is in there for them.
What is in there for them?
First, everybody is going to be, those under operations, they are all being maintained under the same terms and conditions, if not better. And also, certain issues that they may not be happy with, it is important that during those engagement processes, those were addressed. And this was done in a very open, transparent manner. Because, Fatou, no matter what, even if Al-Barak had met all the conditions, even if they had, provided all what is asked for under this contract, so long you don't have the buy-in of the local staff, you cannot work. So that is why for us it's very critical. And we took that very seriously, so much so that on several occasions, the MD would organize an outdoor with his staff in a very open, transparent manner for people to be sensitized and their opinions sought. Also, regular managements are conducted. For me as minister, I am in the management forums of all my agencies because we coordinate much easier that way. And I can assure you that dissent in opinion is very much encouraged. People really are free to express their opinions to the MD. This is the management one, and it is completely different from the operational forums that they have. So for me, I always encourage that. And that is why when we see comments that are claimed to be from the management about certain processes, we take them very seriously. Because they are the insiders.
Yeah.
They are the ones that are feeling this thing. They are the ones that can make and unmake, this process. They can make it work, but they can also stall it. So it is important that we have the buy-in. You may not have 100% buy-in, but it is important that even those ones that are not convinced, you still carry them away.
Yeah. Is it possible to have the Al-Barak contract public? Because, the reason why we want to, we want to see the fine dots. We want to see what happened.
For me,
why Al-Barak was chosen over all others, because we have seen what Dubai Wall and others are doing in other ports, right?
Yes.
That is something that we want here.
Of course.
So
and
a lot of us are concerned. And because there are also allegations that who brought Al-Barak into this country.
You see,
the allegation is, I'm going to be fair, me, I like to say it, first lady Lenat. That is why your hands was twisted and they were given contract.
You see, let me tell you one thing.
That's what
the way this contract committee was constituted, there was no way that you can hamstrung or twist the hands of a minister and then make it happen. It's not possible. Because, let me tell you, it is on 3 layers.
Okay.
In fact, 4. The first layer is at the GPA level
Okay.
and their technical staff. The second layer is the technical committee, comprising permanent secretaries of finance, works, trade, and solicitor general. And included in this committee also was the chief of staff, the
chief of staff.
Yeah, because office of the president was represented.
Okay.
You know, the GAIPA CEO and also GRA represented. That's the technical committee.
Okay.
Then you also have the cabinet subcommittee, which comprises the Ministry of Works, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, Attorney General's Chambers, Ministry of Lands, and I think another Ministry of Environment also. I can't remember. But that is the cabinet subcommittee. Then, beyond that also, there is the cabinet approving authority, where all these things are also taken to cabinet. And decisions are robustly discussed in a most engaging manner. Look, if the bigger international companies like Dubai Port World, also Yilport, the Saudi Red Sea Gate, and others, if they were not fairly treated, you would have had this all over. These are big multinational companies. I can assure you that when even the deep sea port option was floated, none of them was ready to take the risk. Only Al-Barak. None of them. None of them.
So you want to say the First Lady has no hand in this?
No hand. No hand. At least for me, nobody came to me.
Okay.
You see, when things happen in this country, it is always sad that people will come up with wild allegations because they want to stain other people.
No, Ebrima, no, because the reason, people have said they know her connection with Abaraka. So obviously, if they get to get this contract, then that will raise eyebrows. We have seen here where the First Ladies found it. Actually, I had this conversation with somebody here, and I mentioned you, and I said, Ibrahim for Amalal, and that person was going ham on me. I think it was he Sekou Balo or something?
Yes.
About the FAB Foundation, the 25, FAB,
I can't remember.
That 30 million, I don't know, whatever $1 million that was in her account.
That was the truth.
But those people were later on awarded contracts.
Where?
At NAWEC. At NAWEC.
I don't know that.
Of course.
NAWEC is not under me.
And they are awarded contracts.
No, NAWEC
so these are things that we will always flag, we will raise.
Yes, I know.
That is why when it's alleged that she has contacts with these people and she brought them
people
in.
People can flag anything.
Even the airport VIP lounge. There have been allegations about her involvement there. That is also under your
VIP line.
The services, somebody. So these are allegations. I'm just telling you that.
You see, I think because
I'm telling you.
That, let me tell you one thing.
Yeah.
When you have social media platform, a lot of people can come and be giving you all kinds of information.
No, I don't have. I have a media platform.
Yes.
Can you give us respect? We have a media platform.
A media platform anchored on social media.
Like Kerr Fatou, a big media platform.
Kerr Fatou anchored on social media.
Thank you.
Because you have no presence on terrestrial.
That's true.
You are on social media.
But when you say it like social media, it looks like...
Yeah, but it qualifies because for me, I am a journalist.
Yeah.
All right? That's my training.
No, but you guys, whenever you make reference, you always say social media model. No, we are a media platform. We are social media.
Kerr Fatou media platform anchored on social media.
Thank you.
Yeah? Okay, welcome. Give me that due respect as your senior.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. So, I'm just telling you that, we live in a very strange society where people, for some of them, they may be carried away by the flow. But some are doing this outright, with outright intention to destroy the image of people. Coming up with opaque and, unimaginable stories about people. So you think a whole government can be so, much in a situation where one individual comes and turn your hands as they're trying to portray. That is far from the truth. You see, the truth of the situation is this. Multinational companies that participated in this, if we were not doing the right thing, we would have been taken to court by now. You know that. They can go to court and claim that, we have treated them unfairly.
Since you are not here to fight,
yes.
I'm not going to pursue this argument.
Because,
I will leave it here. I will leave it at this. What you said, I'll let the viewers take that.
Let the viewers...
What
sometimes what people say,
but these are public officials. And it is important for me to bring these allegations to you to clarify.
But that is why
because these are allegations that have been going on. And
we cannot stop people from making wild allegations. But we also have the right to defend what is the truth.
Because we have seen people who have paid money into the First Lady's account and they have been in contracts. So, so we will ask. And that's why I'm asking.
People will say anything to tarnish the image of good people.
Okay.
Especially in the age that we are in today.
Okay. And that is the final thing about that. So finally, not finally, we are not final. What if new concessional implement properly this deal? What do we stand to gain as a country?
A lot.
Okay.
First, for the first time in our history, we will be able to have big ships that do call on Dakar, Douala, Yaoundé, no, not Yaoundé, but Togo, Lomé, to call on our port. And what that means, you know that? We will be able to have efficiency in business in this country, because right now what we are having is that
congestion.
All this, there's congestion, but also there's a problem.
Yeah.
The big ships cannot call on the port of Banjul because the channel is too small.
Okay.
Right? And that means that their cargo is freighted through feeder vessels, smaller ones that can come to Gambia. So that is why you can see that sometimes the goods are dropped in Dakar or in Morocco, and then the smaller vessels will come and pick them.
Yeah.
All this contribute to the delay. Now, if we are able to have this deep sea port, the same type of vessels that are calling on Douala, on Dakar, on Lomé, on Lagos, are the same vessels that will come here. And they come with volume. And that can lead to reduction in prices of goods. Number two, it will enhance accelerated employment opportunities for this country. Our economy will stand to gain more from this in terms of the expected volume and the number of men and services that are needed to serve the port. Thirdly, the port, a new port is going to be built for us. At the end of the concession period, we are going to be handed over back our new port, deep sea port.
Well, how long is it? 25, 30 years?
No, it's 30 years.
30 years.
30 years. But strategically also, it is going to open the Gambia to a lot of business opportunities. Because in addition to Sanyang, we are building a port, an inland port in Kaur, and another inland port in Basse, which will serve as a logistic platform. And that is why I was telling you earlier, we don't want to restrict the economic opportunities of the river, because you'll see a lot of accelerated transportation of goods on the river Gambia all the way to Kaur and Basse to serve Mali and also neighboring countries. This is the strategy.
So, yaran ko sa in Naporo, new container kina, it takes long drive. So, that congestion, how quick is it going to be now compared to before? Because Tonya, that is one thing like we all deal with.
It's a big concern.
You have to
right
wait
now,
a month.
The demurrage is really a big issue for the business community, which is passed on to the consumers, but also the time it takes to have your goods, in the country, 6 weeks window, sometimes 2 months.
2 months.
In Dakar, it's like 14 days, So this is what we are going to address. The good thing is that Al-Barak has put in place corrective measures now. A lot of cranes and other equipment, not cranes, but port handling equipment that were lying there for more than 10, 15 years are now being rehabilitated, for the quicker and faster, handling of the cargo at the port. And also, they have changed now also the movement of, used containers. Before, for example, for the export of the containers, they will wait until when the ship arrives here and then it offloads, then they will start bringing in the containers, empty containers to offload them. The reason why that half-day area is cleared, what they are doing right now is that all other ships that are carrying empty containers from Banjul, their empty containers have to be at the port, even before, they start offloading. By the time they finish offloading, they are also uploading the containers. So that is helping to fast-track the handling of the vessels at the jetties. But the reality also is that because now we are manufacturing or bagging our own cement in the Gambia, you have seen that for bulk cargo meaning cement, sugar, rice, and other consumable goods, we have seen that the amount of vessels that we are treating for those type of cargo has kind of like tripled, to a point that the jetties are always continually busy, sometimes for a 6 weeks window. So the containerized cargo can sometimes be delayed because of those things. And that is also something that we have realized is somehow contributing to the delays. But, we have devised strategies to deal with all this quickly so that, priority is given to consumables, but also for GRA also to maximize its revenue from the ports through the containerized cargo.
Now, finally, Ibrahim, all of these, the port, the airport, the Senegambia Bridge, ngabe mortgage.
Senegambia is asset recycling.
Mortgage long.
Mortgage, okay.
Mortgage long.
Yes.
Poro mortgage ta. Airport o niro mortgage ta. Service auditor nirora anunkara airport of an mortgage. Ibrahim, is it because mbajo hani a mortgage tale ya mbajo mani mba fatu nyol mimbe jiberola mama yala te kayina fonyo muna narka to angale ka folo dolu ka moy pour mbajo manyo Senegambia Bridge mortgage ta airport o nyanta mortgage la poro fela mortgage ta all of these things. For me, I'm that kind of person. All of our national assets, Gamtel kana privatize le, Gamcel, fiber, your privatize le. All of these things, all of our national assets. It looks like this government's policy is to privatize every national asset that we have, and that's why I have said this. No. I'm sorry, Sidiketa. Let me not say it again because and he's not very happy. But I feel like, why are we selling, mortgaging all of our national assets?
Let me tell you what.
And the monies are not invested in productive sectors of our society.
How?
Allah 15 million dunta from the bridge to Senegambia, $15 million. It was put into budget support. It was not put in a vehicle. Minister Diamuta National Assembly. Yeah, even Kala.
No, but that money.
Barakule konunko alba kila fenko kono pool. But he more from set up water in Okodo Rijola.
No,
so those are the kind of things.
My understanding is that money is already at the central bank.
No, it's not there. It was,
in the Bank of Finance.
Yeah, so this
as a minister, I know that I've been told this, and I believe.
But the thing is, Ibrahim, all of these national assets.
You see, you have to understand the business models today of some of these strategic assets that you call, national assets. Today, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, or the Gambia Banjul International Airport, if you want to be dogmatic about this and stick to the past, what will happen? Like in our area here, Sierra Leone has its own new airport and is run privately. Dakar has its own new airport.
Sierra Leone is not our model.
No, hold on.
Okay,
Just wait. I'm just trying to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because this is about traffic.
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
The Dakar International Airport, or DIAS, Blaise Diagne International Airport, is not 100% in the hands of Senegal government. Guinea-Bissau is going because they are almost finalizing the building. Niger is in the same kind of arrangements. Togo, the same thing. And all other major destination airports. You know what that will happen? Traffic will be managed in such a way that you will be left out because there is no way you can compete with these people whose only business is to manage and run airports. Whose only business is to manage and run port authorities. From the Gambia, going all the way to Douala. Apart from Gambia, now we are out of the league of those nations. Apart from Guinea-Bissau, there is no port in West and Central Africa going all the way to the port of Angola, where a government is directly running its port. Not in Mauritania, not in Dakar, not in Cote d'Ivoire, not in Nigeria, not in Togo, not in Sierra Leone, not in Ghana, going all the way to Angola. All these ports are in the hands of highly experienced, capable, international operators. And you go into a concession. Concession does not necessarily mean that you are selling off. No, the asset still remains. You are, having, in fact, in most of these countries, they are getting more money today than they were when their ports were in the hands of the government. And this is what we also want to do here. There is no way that, a whole government will be committed to a business like this within an environment where you have international players and you expect that, that is just a free giveaway. No.
So it means if our port is not effectively managed, our airport is not effectively managed.
It's not because they are not effectively managed.
No, it's not because they are not able to bring the resources that they need.
It's not only about being effectively managed, but the competition.
Is the competition.
The competition to compete with other ports is in fact the strategic decision here. This is how the world is going.
So this is the government. This is a government policy now. This is the government's direction.
Of course, wherever you want to do it, it has to be backed by tangible studies, bankable studies that convinces the government that yes, this is something that you should do.
Okay. When are we able to see the port concession deal?
Well, the port concession,
the deal, the contract.
The contract. Well, we have done our job. We have
access to information.
Access to information. Well, you are free as a journalist.
But we want to see it. Is it possible that you will be able to publish?
I don't have it.
The contract document.
I don't have.
You are the custodian. You are the minister.
The minister
of works.
The minister does not keep the documents.
No. Your PS keeps it, but you are the minister, the head of the department.
Yes, the head of the department, in charge of policy and all kinds of things.
Is it when?
So you want the minister to take the document and sit on?
No. But when can we have access to the port's document?
Well, I cannot give any promise on that. We have to look at whether it is affected by third party.
This is a public government.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm not saying it is not possible. Because, the National Assembly, I think, they have, this document.
Okay.
These are your people's, representatives. Why can't you go to them and ask?
And have access to that?
Yeah.
But I should be able to walk into your office also and have access to it.
That doesn't work like that.
That is the routine.
It doesn't work like that.
You should be able to give us documents.
It doesn't work like that.
There's nothing confidential in this.
It doesn't work like that.
This is the Gambia government, Gambia people's contract.
Exactly. Gambia people's contract.
That's why
you go to your National Assembly.
If you don't want all of these speculations that we hear out, give us the contract. Let us look at it.
For us, we are not doing this because we want to stop speculation.
No.
No, hold on. Let me just make one thing clear.
Yeah.
No matter what you do in this country, even if you bring the sun and put it in your right hand, people will say you have the moon there.
Yeah.
So we are not doing this because we are trying to stop people from speculating.
No, we don't even want to. No.
Let people speculate, but we will always provide the right information. Those who want to accept that information
and the right information is the contract.
This is what people have been saying all along
We want the
about
contract.
the Senegambia. We provide the contract. We say, doing the traffic study, doing this.
We want the contract.
You cannot satisfy the critics.
You cannot satisfy
What
but,
you do.
but give us
No,
the
what
right
you do.
information.
Give the information out.
But why
and
are you
allow the critics to
why are
continue
you
criticizing.
why are you holding it so tight? You don't want, why don't you want to share it with us? What is there?
Fatou,
Well,
I told you.
I will write to the Access to Information Commission
Okay.
and request for the contract. Maybe that way we'll get it. That is the right channel.
There is nothing hidden about this contract.
Let
we have
me
been very open about this.
We want to see it.
Yes. There is nothing stopping you from going to your assembly, and ask them about it also.
But there's nothing wrong with having asking from the right person, the Minister of Works himself.
The minister does not keep documents.
Okay, we'll get it. Finally, Sanyan call me Bejubela. This is a community me alonko. When I spoke to some of them, they told me, actually 3 months ago they requested for me to have an interview. But for me, I wanted to speak to the ministry first because I didn't know much about this. I wanted to have a conversation, have an understanding, hear from the ministry side. Then I can host the relevant authorities and also independent people. And that's why I really wanted this interview with you, so that from there, we can also have a conversation with the community and also, but from their conversation, they really want this project.
Oh, yes.
From their conversation, they love this project for their community and for their people. Their main concern is the location and also to make sure they are involved. They want to be involved in this project. So hearing from you that is one thing that you guys want, I think that is
I can assure them.
yeah, I think betiata pure diamu sanyankole in the local language. Yeah. No,
Your concern race,
yeah.
Mola portal, and business all the dami.
Yeah.
Ndol fana lafta mi na wala ni project hay minimal impact so molka. To nya ko mbobe ngami bi. Ite business of this magnitude sambala na yako ko ata modo la dulama ba mo sita blabe. Bari min mu hamodi wala ka project wala mi yalon ko ala impact wala la bakin molka. And wala na lafta ni to fanga ni do bo. It only from a blood of Fontole, ko bela fla ni yeke wala. Yo ba studies le binakel. Dewe duala ni wo study o itandi.
Yeah.
Ba ke wo wala bandela. Yo ba ni study ba yenta kala blood o fana to fana. Hanna tara la impact do wala because ni mu masa kuda xamode. Wala dolbe min ni ka wala ya eta was back. Yeah. It's the impact on the land size ni
Akana wara. Okay.
But ko ate mola dula mala wobe ko yana kombo bi iko be fengo fen kala nyum banko kanjam BBB kombo kon ko mola dula because you can put nyoka isita nyoka
Yeah.
space man sort of for future development plan but ni ko be development ko la fo dula dolma yela compensation o dila ni le nyanto hormone bunya ko isa jenes ne la do ndol be lo wala.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ebrima Sillah. I think this is the only time we interview Mansonga. Na vira sunkaro le wasa. Dia mo ba mo ko no sunkaro ko. Dia mba ni nyu sabo. Ni mo la fa interview. This is the best time to come. Ka to dia mo ba ni sonko. This is the best time to come. Dia mba ni sonko. Kanja ko mo ko no sunkaro ko. Bajo mani mba Suleiman pa Suleiman David Juberora. Thank you very much, Ebrima. We appreciate on a short notice. We texted you. We wanted it to do it in 2 days, but you said let's do it today because you have other engagements.
Yes.
And this is what we want from all of our public officials, because it's important to always bring clarity to what you're doing. And we thank you very much for that. Even though Ebortajane memory for almost 6 months. But
1 year.
Sira konato, Sirif Boja Woga Konyako, Barira cousin ko Iabula Lebuka, Kasa Konyako, Ebrima Koyakuyal Mutafe. Gayako no atele Kuyam Tamfe. So
Yalo Dolba Noton.
Ibe noto mintol. Sanji killing, ibu kam call, ibu kan jube malom be minto.
Bari yalo nkejen.
Okay.
Min focus on ela platform mo ba ko kana for social media. Nkejen ko di.
Ikan jela. Andi kam mo le bake fana. Nkamimfo ikamwele.
Nke jibe.
Ikanje nkamimfo ikamwele.
Nka moy nka nke jibe. Bari nka alon ko fana ika kumo dol fana ko ika woni kamfan.
Kamfa munen kamfan.
Malonde.
Nte man kamfa nte ben noto.
Anyway.
Nte ben noto man kamfa manjida man move. Bari de sayo de vocal tabake fo wolol. Bake fa. I'm not a limb vocal. Vocal tabake and vocal every day. I tell them vocal. But thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. Hopefully very soon. I would love to have the PMD also. I think I could not vocal fight at Muno Broad. Not another me phone into Folate. Jovat.
No, you have to come up on the scientific. I don't want my MDs.
Jovata is a nice guy. Why you don't want them to come?
No, let me take this. The bullet for everybody.
No, that's not. No,
I'm the minister.
But they are the custodians of the places.
Yes, but I'm the police.
Give
I'm
me.
the one in charge of police.
Yeah, minister. This are more better area le Anyway, Jobate.
I'm the one in charge of the policy. So I should.
But they are the ones on the ground.
They are the ones on the ground. Let them give me the information and I say it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to find one na kolayata dia. Actually.
Ne Jobate na wolf fisara ka tunte fem follow en kamal wolal.
Manda Jobate di la.
Non te kamalate la. Ate muna brodals.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. Until we come your way again. Good night to you all. Sunte watu manjam fa ala barka baki. Good night. Thank you.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have